All right. Good evening, everyone. It's March 21st. It's Monday. Pretty eventful day in the market. Lots of movement, lots of volatility. As you all know, as day traders, volatility is needed in order to make good gains, right? Nice moves. So today I will be going over some planning. So something that should help you guys kind of prepare yourselves the day or the night before, and really just from a psychological and technical perspective, right? I also will be going over some I have them labeled here as the trading cardinal sins. I see a lot of traders in the group making unnecessary mistakes, right? Tons of unnecessary mistakes where you guys are really making trading much more difficult than it needs to be. You know, you guys, hey, how does Max trade like this? Hey, how does Maple trade like that? Right? We are just looking at what the chart is telling us and reacting to that, right? That's all it is, day in, day out. Looking at what the chart's going to say, understanding the situations, right? Look at these situations. We mark these all out every morning. It's not a trigger level. It's not, hey, buy calls on this, right? These are, you must gauge and see how price is reacting to these zones or these levels in order for possible bounce or interaction or breakthrough. Okay. So, just to begin with, I just want to go over the day, kind of slowly going through the day. Okay, I guess candle by candle is okay with you guys if you guys have the time, right? But looking at our pre-market levels, you can see pre-market highs. I think I deleted the supply at the end of the day. Let me pull up the plans from this morning. Yeah. So I had actually, let me blow that up so it's better. I had this supply zone. I removed it, just trying to get in on a tighter view of the current sellers throughout the day. And really, we saw nothing closing over the pre-market high. But I had this supply, right? So going throughout the day, we saw pre-market high, previous day high, supply respected to a T, rejected off of this very heavily. Okay, but this pre-market level, pre-market low, it was interacted through quite often. Lots of traffic going through, right? You see this break in base, right? There's the next wave of longs or shorts pushing through here or covering, right? Break in base or a pullback, right? Right here, rejection, rejection, right? There's a lot of traffic that's been gone through this level. Also, if you look at it, or if I clear this chart out, pre-market low, you see pre-market low aligns right with mid candle. That is the balance point of the chart for the day, right? So if we can gather data from that, then we can use that, to our advantage to the next into the next session. I'll show you how. Okay, but we also saw here. I marked those levels. 1 second, pull it back up. I marked these levels down here, right? I tell you, hey, watch for the clusters, the zones that are most recently displacing or showing you where buyers and sellers were, right? I said move your stop up to the next pivot along the trend, right? So if larger participants in the market trade a similar manner, hey, their stop is right around here. Hey, they pushed up another higher low. Hey, their stop's right around here. Hey, they pushed up. Same thing, right? So we should look at these levels for interaction, for possible defense from those buyers, right? And if it fails, we go to the next one where those next wave of buyers may have been sitting, or those orders are sitting, or whatever else it may be, right? It's all simple stuff, guys. This all happens. Look, 8:40 a.m. this morning. We're already up here doing this, 50 minutes before the open. And the chart is giving you everything that you need to trade the price action for that given day, for the next day, right? Pre-market high rejection. Let's go right here. Look, reject pre-market high supply. Bam, right? There's your entry. Okay, look, let's go. Remember, these plans that I make are not for just the open. Look, reject pre-market high supply. That's the one you choose again. 351, 350 puts. Okay. Right here. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Can someone explain to me, when price action is coming to this demand zone, what are the two outcomes? What are the two outcomes? Breaking base or what? Or it's going to bounce, right? It's just right there. Those are the two outcomes. It's going to break in base, shoving through, or it's going to bounce off of it. Does price absorb here? No, you get this ugly candle in the 5-minute closing through. What do you think is going to happen, right? What happens here? Breaks. Basis. You see this big upper wick? It pushes up very closely. Some of you may not be able to react. That's why, I show you how to trade on the 1 minute, but the 1 minute is riskier for newer traders who don't understand that, they do need to stop out or gauge risk at all points in time. Okay? Breaks and bases below it. Boom. Right? What's going to happen here? Comes back down. You got two options. Two options. Once again, it's going to bounce off of the pre-market low demand or break in base below the pre-market low demand. Right? There's pre-market low. Price bounces down or flushes down, bounces back up, bases, and then flushes. Right? There's your puts again. 347 or 347, 348 puts. Right? So guys, everything. Oh, I don't need to do that. Everything is given to you every single moment of the day. But what are you guys trading? Right? Remember the exercises. I tell every trader that comes into the room that, hey, some of the best exercises that you need to do. I didn't trade PayPal today. Let's say someone in the group did. Okay. You go to your chart. You clear out everything. Clear the drawing set. You go to your orders. Look at what was filled. Look at what was executed. What was bought and sold. And mark them out. Highlight them, right? Maybe you bought there. You entered here. And you sold, right there. Whoops. Okay, not a bad trade, right? But how could you have made it better? What could you have done to refine this trade? How could you improve it? All right. Maybe you went long here. Maybe a trader went long right there. Right? Doing what? Buying big green candles. And they stopped out instantly down there. Right? Big green candle. Oh, we're going to push up to the high of day. There's nothing above. We've broken through all of this. Right? Instantly you take a 30% loss, 40% loss, depending upon what you're trading. Right? So do this. You guys, it's going to show you exactly where your problems are. I know it's painful. I know it's like picking a scab. Oh my gosh, I'll never do, when you're going through the trade, when it's right here at this point in time, 10:30 and you've taken a big loss or you've burned all your buying power before the first hour or two. Right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna do it again. I'm not. This is the last time. Okay, that was an awful trade. I know what I did wrong. I won't do it again. That's not enough. It's not enough. You have to. What do the Buddhists say? Right? Life is all about suffering. Learn through the suffering. Right? You will be so disgusted. You guys have heard me say the same thing for so long. You'll be so disgusted with yourself that you even took that trade and that you have to review it. Force yourself to review your trades. Force yourself to look at the chart and be like, damn, look at what this guy's doing. What am I doing at 9:30 a.m.? What am I doing at 10 a.m.? What am I thinking? What was I thinking at this point in time? And I'm some average Joe, right? What was I thinking at this point in time? Buying the extension from the EMAs that everyone tells me not to do. Buying very far away, from any sense of pullback. Buying big green bars, right? What are these green bars mean to me? They're weak. These are people, getting sold onto, right? So this right here, going through this, right? So go through on the QQQ chart today, whatever you traded, all right? Whatever you traded, you can leave your TA up. I suggest you leaving the TA off, but it, if you need to look at your zones, review your zones, that's fine. Okay? Look at the trades. I mean, do you see these things that I'm calling out here? Right? Tweezer bottom. That's a good trade. Hey, first 5 minute 90 made tap on VWAP. That's a good trade. Right? First pullback here. We entered. Wrote it down. Nice flush. 3-bar play right here. We took these. Rode it all the way up. Right? And then I didn't trade the rest. I got stopped out right up here. Right on this rip. I remember. But go through and really ask yourself throughout the day, hey, where am I getting chopped up the most? Get in tune with that. Have a relationship built with those problems that you are continuously facing, so that when it arises tomorrow, because it will arise tomorrow, you're right. Just because you review one night, you're not going to get over your FOMO buying. You're not going to get over your impulse trading. You burning out your buying power the first 30 minutes or an hour after the open, or chasing callouts. Right? It's not going to go away in a day. It's not going to go away in 6 months. Sometimes I still deal with it. Right? So, please, guys, the numbers, we are trading so well when I'm on stream, and I see a lot of you guys pissing stuff away for no reason, right? Fighting trends. That's the biggest thing, fighting trends, right? Diddling in the middle, okay? Just trading momentum. You want this, clean movement. This is not so clean. I know that, power hour, right? Power hour, I agree with. Power hour is great. 2:30, 3 o'clock when that begins, whatever, that you see some good price action, some good little scalps, or I call them bonus trades. That's not what I'm making my living off of. I'm making my living off of the, before 12 o'clock. This is where all the money's being made for me, right? These are just little freebies, right? Whatever's left, or maybe if I'm writing something from, my earlier entries, or whatever else, right? Stop trying to be a hero. Stop trying to, get rich in a day. Okay? There's a whole process that, if you just try to skip over this with the shortcuts, hey, I'm not going to review tonight. I'm not going to look at what I was going through. And then it just goes one ear out the other. Then you forget about it, right? Oh, remember that statement? I'm never going to make the same trade again. I know exactly what I did wrong. Good luck tomorrow, right? We've been on fire the last, 8 trading days. I've had no issue. A lot of you guys, the members in the group are figuring it out, right? You don't need all of these crazy tools and everything else, right? I respect all traders. I respect all of them. Right? You can learn anything, you can pay for whatever course, this or that, right? But all of these things I'm teaching you here are very common, very easily understandable. You can Google it, find a YouTube video, something. But all of that means nothing if you don't know how to apply it. How do you learn how to apply it? Through your own self-review, right? You guys at some point, I don't care that, Ace or Ryu or a lot of other traders are doing their, trading independently. That's great. That was the goal, right? That was the goal. I want them to have that independent thinking. At some point, you will have to jump the nest. And, I love this. I love trading live, so it's not going to change anything. But, you have to be able to come up with your own thesis. I think Max earlier, a couple days ago, he was asking you guys, if you had to decide or had to choose or think about where price was going to go, where was it going to go? And no one said anything, right? For, a few minutes, whatever else. And, one thing that helped me, right? My high school teacher, English teacher, or no, government teacher or something, was saying, if you ever get writer's block or something like that, you just have to continuously just write. So like if I'm looking at this chart going into tomorrow, I'm going to clear everything out, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? I'm looking at the data from the last 2 days. What's my mind thinking? Hey, Go and identify the most recent levels where buyers and sellers were interacting, where they were buying. All right. What do these bars, when I am regarding charts, guys, what do these bars mean to me? These big green bars, right? In regards to strength, are they strong or are these weak bars? Right? In terms of where buyers and sellers were. Weak. Yeah, these are weak. Let me look what happened. Big chunk down, right? You're getting orders from here, right? It's gapping down. It's moving so quickly. You guys will see it. You're like, this is where we gloat, where it jumps down, 50 cents or 25 cents, whatever. And then look what happens. They get sliced through the short washout, right? Short washout. But this here does not have the build. This doesn't have the consolidation building, right? And then right here, consolidation. These are slow, big sharp, little pullback, sharp, little pullback, sharp. And then it consolidates. This is where, the auction is going on, right? This is where longs are offloading contracts or shares or whatever, and shorts are beginning to accumulate their position. Right? Look at that. Boom. It slices through all of that. Where does this pull back to instantly? Where does this, this fails, it knifes down on the 5-minute chart. That's a crazy 5-minute candle. Where does it knife to instantly? The most recent area where buyers and sellers interacted, right? Mark the low. Low, where does it come to? Knifes down. Price kind of diddles here a little bit, right? What happens? And then it knifes down. Where does it push to? Pushes right here on the next 5-minute candle. A little bit of consolidation, right? Then it shoves down to the next level. Little wick below, but buyers, I called this a jab earlier, buyers not heavily underwater, right? This does close down. That may scare a lot of traders, but that is a fake out breakout. We saw a lot of that going on today. Look at the pre-market high right here. Fake out breakout, inverted hammer, bearish engulfing. This was gonna go down. Okay. So you're saying block by block makes a stronger wall than, yeah, exactly. Look at this. This was, traders do not have enough time here, throughout this consolidation range, right? This is much more, this has much more strength than these bars. That's why, what happened? Right? Remember, look, each little point, consolidation. They try to hold it right there, and they're trying to hold it a little bit there, right? That level fails, obviously. Consolidation. The next little round, or these blocks where buyers and sellers are where they have been over a period of time. Look at this. This moves up from 1240, or consolidates here from 1240 all the way to 240. 2 hours. Right? 2 hours. And this moves up and, from 3 o'clock to 3:25. 25 minutes. Look at what happens right here. It's not a lot of time thinking before it sells off. There's not enough buyers holding this. It's not a lot of thinking here that goes on before it rejects off of that, right? Because this is not strong. This is not strong, right? But down here, look at the consolidation. This took, from 11 a.m. to about 12. So a whole hour where a buyer has come in, got his orders filled, multiple buyers, market makers filling orders. Remember, you could, how do you draw a demand zone, right? If you didn't want to draw this whole zone, this whole cluster, draw the lower wick right there. Okay? And this is all in hindsight. We already know what's happened here. But it's, you must know and review, right? We expect, look at my plans from this morning. Posted the charts, okay? If QQQ fails pre-market low demand of 348.50, we will likely see the 345, 347 cluster. Okay? Whoops. Pre-market low right here. Pre-market low 349. Okay? Or what did I say? 348.50. Oh, this level. Okay, if we fail 348.50, That's the low of that demand. We will test 345, 347, right? What comes right below? Remember, 345 is down here up to 347. This is a pretty big range right here, but within those ranges, just like I showed you on the watch list channel this morning, okay, we had marked this little cluster here and this one here, right? Understanding that, hey, if this level fails, we will breach deeper into this demand, which is 345, and it taps it, right? It goes right at 345.55, right at the base. I mean, that's just the lower wick. You could have drawn that a bit more broadly, whatever, right? So going into tomorrow, we're going to use the same technique going into tomorrow. This is what I'm looking at going into tomorrow, okay? I'm going to clear it all off. We already have our previous day high level and our previous day low. I'm going to use these same levels right here that were there from yesterday. I'm going to mark them a different color. I'm going to mark them, let's do yellow. Those are still there. These orders are still there. You see that, right? Okay. Now, I don't have my pre-market levels, obviously. Okay. I'm going to draw a little zone here. Draw a little zone here. Whoops. I noticed not a lot of traders participated in the pop quiz, which is fine. I know it was a little bit later. I was doing stuff. But, guys, if you were red today, I mean, it's got to stop, right? I know that being red is a part of the journey. We must experience being red in order to, you know, conquer these faults that we are experiencing day in and day out, okay? But we also have to accept the fact that it's not okay, that this is not a sustainable, you know, type of trading. Whatever you're trading, however you're trading, if you're consistently red, you know, your winners are much smaller than your losers, okay, then something's got to change. There's something in your setup, your systematic approach to the market that needs to be refined, okay? So we have these two levels, but I can see here, I drew this supply a little bit, and it was rather interesting. I do like this supply, or this demand, but I drew supply right here, right? So that's kind of interesting to me. I know it's a little bit above that level anyway, but I always enjoy drawing the low before close, right? Where those most recent buyers are. So I know that they're right here around in this area, right here, here, and here, right? So this area, I would, you know, say much more strongly that this 346, 347 area is, you know, going to be a deciding factor. You know, it would negate, if they failed through, it would negate the head and shoulders, right? The possible absorption of this zone and then push up, because left shoulder, head, right shoulder, okay? If they fail that, right? So if they fail this, look for a test of the 345 demand, okay? Right here, 345 demand. If this 345 demand fails, this is not, you know, this is different. This 3-bar play, you can mark that, but I don't think that there's enough buyers there that would come in aggressively, right? You can see here, 1 5-minute candle lower wick, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then there's some absorption right here as well. Okay, and then they you know, they're accumulating. How do banks buy? How do algos buy? How do market makers buy? They don't buy like you got, like how we trade. You know, oh, I picked up 10 contracts, 20, 30 contracts. I picked up one contract, right? That's not, and then you're done. They have to absorb some. Absorb, right? Absorb here. Okay, absorb more. Getting orders filled, right? Building a position along the way, correct? Okay, they're buying in very large size. So going through here, if this fails, what's the next zone, right? I'm not going to trust this so much. But where was the most recent kind of consolidation like that? Longer drawn out, right here. Okay, so I'm just going to draw this pretty broad. So if this fails, I know that's a big drop. I know that that's kind of scary, right? There is this kind of consolidation range right here. So maybe you can draw this previous supply that could possibly turn demand. keyword possibly, right? But this is a much stronger area of consolidation. This would be pretty extreme, okay? But we must see obviously how price action or, you know, the market's going to react going into, you know, tomorrow morning session. Now, if we maintain this higher low up here, okay, if we maintain higher low, higher low, higher low, and this is pushing down and it absorbs down here around 348, 349 area for a larger push up, okay, they could try to reclaim this right there. Remember, these buyers right here, you know, yes, it did push through, but we can, you know, we understand that many times, you know, that's really not too much underwater for them. Okay, you know, they're not, they don't have to have super tight risk management for these larger positions, right? I mean, they have so much, you know, they've got their, what is it? I forgot the saying. Anyway, but going through the upside here, there is a supply zone. So remember, these are weak bars to me. Okay, but they do have a supply zone holding over this VWAP area. Okay, so I'm going to draw this whole little doji right there. You see where it's been shaved off right there. The codes for EMAs. I just go here. These are all the basic ones. I just move average exponential. 3 of them, 9, 20, 200. Make them whatever colors you want. This is the basic VWAP. This is the basic volume average. Nothing, no scripts, nothing crazy. But right here, this is the supply zone that I feel like we should be watching out for, okay? The most recent entries, I mean, they even were, you know, around this area, right? But they were entering here, 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 and here. So watch for this 349 right below 350 area, right? Of course, if we break and hold above that, I'm looking for this high day supply right there, this upper wick. Very, very obviously there. Okay, but if 352 breaks, where are we gonna go? Right? Always start off. If you have trouble drawing your zones, just start off by drawing resistance, or you know, if you're looking at demand, draw your support. It's very simple, right? Look at these little pivots, whatever you know you want to call them, daily levels, hourly levels, whatever. Right? Now build upon those. Okay, I like to capture these upper wicks right there. So I'm gonna extend this out, change the month. Okay, what is this? Another little wick here. Okay, and then this I'll just kind of leave how it is. Yeah, I had that marked earlier. Right here. This level. I mean, we had it in the trading floor. 1 second. Let me pull it up. Or the watch list channel, excuse me. Right here. See, this is what you're talking about, that consolidation. Right on 352, where the previous day high and then the pre-market high was. So, right, we've got some zones. Now, just like I show you in the pre-market, everything's situational. Okay, so we must gauge price action. All right, we must be able to gauge price action. How is price reacting to this zone, to this demand zone? How is price reacting to the supply zone? Am I seeing strength from one side over the other? How are these sellers defending their supply? Are they thinking that we could get, you know, cheaper shorts up here and just letting it move up and letting bulls, you know, squeeze those novice retailers? Okay, this does not look the best. Now I'm seeing lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? That's what I'm seeing. But I'm also seeing here higher low, right? And then higher low. See this right here? I mean, honestly, you could say it's a lower low, lower low, lower low. So see if these buyers here at 347, 348 are able to defend this. Otherwise, I believe that we will come down to 345 to test for a possible lower low, right? So whoops. So, you know, what we could see, right? If these buyers here aren't going to come in and defend, right? Break, base, test this area, stop for a moment, maybe shorts cover a little bit, and then push back down to 340. Okay. But these buyers here have to give up, and I don't see them giving up without a fight. Obviously, they have a possible setup for, like I was talking about, that inverse head and shoulder, right? Absorbing this 347 demand and then pushing up, creating a higher high. Looking for this right here, probably rejecting off the supply a little bit, consolidating a bit, letting EMAs catch up, and then a push, right? This right here is a battle between, let me pull up NQ so I don't lose my zones I just put on Qs. This right here is a battle, okay, between this supply, okay, and then this demand right here, currently. That's what we're trading in between, right? You are ranging. So let me zoom this out a bit. Let me go in the 1 hour, right? It's not the first time we've gone through this, right, guys? The cliche thing is to say, look left. So how, how recent did this just occur? Right? Break down the chart. I'm going to mark the consolidation ranges. Consolidation. And then what? Trend. Consolidation. Trend. Guys, it's like, I hope that you guys understand that, this does not have to be complicated. And everything that I say, you really don't have to overcomplicate things. I know that you guys are learning a lot, reading tape with Max and everything, and understanding a lot, but you will not be able to run before you crawl. And a lot of you guys are struggling with the basic logistics of trading. I don't need to trade, tape I can read price action and gather the same information very quickly, right? You guys see us taking trades day in, day out, very accurate, very quickly, no hesitation. And Max and I come up with the same thesis majority of the time, right? I know he trades oil and a lot of other different things, but we end up trading the same things. We have trained our eyes to find those setups, those edges, those profitable outcomes in the market every single day. And we also know when to pull back. Max takes lunch. I take lunch. I come back, I'll check around, look for setups, whatever, right? But we can see trend or consolidation, and then trend, consolidation, then trend, consolidation, then it trends very shortly here because we are breaching the supply. But what happens here? Supply is broken, micro trend broken, right? Micro very quickly, micro trend broken, decision being made, pops up. When they lock in a little bit of profit and it pulls back, these buyers who were here most recently did not gather enough of their position, right? They have to buy in these positions very quick, or in pieces. They cannot buy it very quickly. So you get a break and base here. Whatever they locked in, they will add more here, breaking and basing using the previous supply as demand, continuing to consolidate but maintaining higher lows, and then it's going to break out of this consolidation and then trend, right? And then now what are we doing again? It's another piece of the puzzle. Another piece. That's all we're trading, guys. But are you trading momentum the way that you're trading consolidation, or vice versa? That is the biggest struggle every single day that I'm seeing in the group. When it gets to this point, right? What happens here? Oh man, I'm not making any money. Oh damn, I missed that pullback. I'll get the next one. Oh man, that was too high up. I'm scared to take the pullback. I'll get the next one. Oh, price is slowing down now. This is my chance. Now I'm gonna jump in the trend. What are these guys doing? Right? Can someone tell me what these guys are doing to this guy? Right? They're taking his money, for free. They're paying this guy right here who just bought in because price is now slowed down for him. His brain can now computate what is going on in the trade, and he's also, let the two good ones go away already. What's the rule, guys? For breakouts or on a reversal, what are the best two entries? Oh my god, they're laughing his cheeks. What are the best two entries after a reversal? Right, the first two. Kimbo's got it right. What I mean am I a magician? Right? Is this am I a psychic teller? Right? What's going on here? First pullback. We took this today. Right? And you guys are like, Maple, why did you take that? What constituted you to take that? Right? And I'll show you. What was this, 1040? I called it out too. Let me see. Where am I at here? Let me go to QQQ. Right here. Bounce out of demand. I missed the demand ad. This is actually the lower high confirmation right there. The best, entry in the demand, right? I miss it. Okay. There's another bus. Maybe it's 15 minutes from now, right? You guys ever have to wait for the bus? The bus doesn't come every 5 minutes. The bus doesn't come every 10 minutes. The bus may come 30 minutes. The bus may take 35 or 45 minutes before it picks your ass up, right? So, I missed the bus. Oh, hey, I see the bus man coming. I see him down the road, but I still can't get on the bus, right? Now he's, okay, now he pulls in and can pick me up. That's right where we entered, right there. You guys are like, why did you take that? It's the first pullback. It's a 3-bar play on NQ. It's holding the 1 minute and 9 and 20 EMAs after they just crossed. This is the first test on the 1 minute. Okay, so then back to NQ here. Right? Oh, I missed that entry. Oh, I missed the second one because I'm too afraid. Now, why do you have confidence up here? Right? Why? Why do you have confidence up here? Then you are now trading consolidation with a momentum method. And then your whole day's fucked up. Right? Be honest. How many of you went through this today? Oh, I missed this short entry. Oh, I missed this short entry. Oh, now this is the short entry. Now this is the short entry, right? I mean, they did it to you all day. They did it to you all day. And they came back and on the flip side, they did it again to you. And they took your money even more, right? Trading momentum, trading first pullback, second pullback, missed them, okay? Later entries dictate quicker profit taking. You get a lower low right here. Lock in the gains. Oh, 5-minute 9's hitting now. Now is my time. Now I have all the confidence to take the trade. We're going to make money this time, boys. Oh, man. What's going on here? What? Oh, we're back break even. We're back in it, right? I was down 30%, but that's okay. We're back in it. Oh, shit. Oh, we're only down 10% now, right? From entry. Maybe 20%. Oh, they're going to flush it this time. That's a double top on VWAP. They're going to flush it this time. Good night, right? Good night. That's it. So, how can you remove this from your trading, right? Can I help with entering too early? Sure. So, F. Lucas, I have a bane, right? I have one weakness currently that I'm working on, and it is entering too early on breakouts. I am not a breakout trader, but it is something, I mean, you guys saw on reversals, right? A few months back, I was like, I could tighten up my reversal game, right? Now we know what to look for reversals, and we trade them all the time. Okay, now, for the breakouts, I'm a dip buyer. I like buying dips. I like buying things, at a cheaper price. I'm very frugal in my own real life. Right? Everything has to be a deal for me to buy it. Right? Me buying something with urgency. You'll never catch me at Black Friday. All right? You never catch me waiting in a line for some new restaurant or at a rope drop. Never. So that's what breakout buying is. But I want to get better at it. So I understand that maybe my entries are too early. Right? Maybe my entries are too early. on a breakout. So how do I review that? Okay, so you know, I don't know, maybe you have like this, right? Maybe like, okay, this is a good example. Maybe you get in, hey, I want to buy on VWAP. Okay, but where would you cut if you bought on VWAP? Where would you get, where ask yourself that. When you're trading tomorrow, where would you cut? Ask yourself before you take the trade. If you're about to take an entry, if you're about to take it right now, maybe you have some time to deliberate. I know it can be very fast. Okay, but where would you stop out? Okay, you would stop out down here. Well, you know, someone just got filled down there, and this is kind of aggressive off of the inverted hammer, right? And I want to go long. Okay, so I've now identified the stop loss. It's elementary things, guys, right? I've told you, identify the stop loss before everything. Before you take entry, before you think where you're going to take profit, look at where you're going to stop out. Where's the most recent buyer? That's literally what that is. Where am I going to stop out with the most recent buyer, right? So if I'm going to stop, let me fix this a little bit. If I'm like, hey, I want to go long and I want to risk this candle here, right? Then that would make this entry too early. Remember, imagine that this red candle hasn't occurred, right? But you got this inverted hammer. That would make the entry pretty far away. Not super far away, but you know, maybe some unnecessary red, right? And boom, right? Get as close to that as possible. If the stop loss is right here, 14,314, find an entry 10 to 15% away from your stop loss level instead of, hey, I want to get in the trade, right? I want to jump the line. I want to get in now, right? Stray away from that. Take a breath. Analyze it a bit more, right? I feel like with the commentary that we've been given, you know, for the live trading has improved over the, you know, past month or so just by me slowing down, right? Everything does not have to be fast. I know that there's a lot of data. There's a lot of, you know, information to process and break down. But trading, I mean, you can have slow moving trades. Now, I'm a fast paced type of trader, but something like this gave you, you know, from 11:30 to 12:30, practically a whole hour to decide, hey, do I want to go long up here or is this about to reverse, right? I know this was a quick 5-minute move, but if you're not good at trading momentum, remember, ask yourself, what kind of person are you? You someone who's you know, performs well under pressure in a fast amount of time, or are you someone who needs to take their time, right? Do you get the extra time when you board the plane, right? With the old people and the people that have pets and stuff, emotional support animals, right? Or are you just like, you know, whatever, I can wait. Everyone else can get in, and I'll wait for something to occur. I always tell you guys, these consolidation phases, Diesel was popping in too. You don't have to trade this. Set your high, set your low, mark alerts, mark a ton of alerts so you know what's going to happen. Wait for the alert to go off. Take the trade. That is breakout buying. I know it's not the best, but in the very least sense, you will prevent yourself from convincing whatever kind of, I mean, this right here, this is like, you know, Jedi mind tricks, right? They want to confuse the hell out of you. You will convince yourself, oh, this is gonna go up because of this. This is, you know, who gives a shit? Wait for the trend. You do not have to trade consolidation phases. Trade your 2 phases and pick which one you favor more. If you're not a consolidation trader, but you can trade trend, then wait for the consolidation traders to be done and understand, hey, now at this consolidation phase, this is not my time to shine. This is where I need to back off or I'm going to piss away my money. But when they do trend it, what do? Right? I'm going to mark an arrow right here. Okay, we're going to go to the 1 minute. Right? What did the 1 minute give you? Right? Boom. First kind of pullback. You can see where they're slicing this off right there. Right? Entry. Right? Entry here. We shorted there. Right? Entry. 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 And entry. It gives you so many little scalps or whatever you need to take on 0 days or whatever you're trading. It doesn't matter if it's a 1 DTE, 2 DTE, whatever. These are going to pay you very well just by looking at your little 1 minute EMAs when it's trending. That's all you need. Look at my EMAs up here. I tell you guys. 1 second. I tell you guys, right? What does the 1 minute EMA tell me? Can someone type it out in chat? What does the 1 minute EMA tell me as a trader? What information am I gathering from that? Strength, trend, gauging the strength of the trend, telling me what's going on, right? It's going to continue in this trend on the 1 minute, right? Or this trend is going to continue as long as the 1 minute's going to hold, right? So I know that, hey, consolidation, 1 minute EMA is holding through. They cross to the downside. We can see the entry, right? We don't have to go through. I can, do this for hours, okay? But EMAs cross. What does that mean? Oh my God. Yeah, you're not going to buy when they cross. Duh, you want to buy when it touches it. Okay? When people talk about EMAs and stuff, like, in regards of like lagging indicators, those are people, or, newer traders that are like, hey, I'm not going to use this because it's lagging, right? That's because you don't trade the crosses very, very often. Have I ever called a 9 and 20 EMA cross and said to buy on that? Never, right? I don't want you guys to buy on crosses. It does give you a good signal, right? It does give you a good signal, something to watch out for, but buy the pullback. See how those EMAs are going to, hey, this broke through. This created a higher high here, right? This broke through and they crossed. I want to see if they're going to use these previous resistance as now newly found support. A term and a saying I've said since the beginning, right? Oh, look it's trending, 20 EMA. You shouldn't have gotten stopped out there. Remember your pivots, right? You don't just use base trades off of EMAs. I'm a price action trader above all else. EMAs were the most recent skill set that I added to my trading. That's why we have such a good understanding of how to trade them, because we don't solely rely on them. Okay, so pushing through here, holding through. Now what happened to the 1 minute EMAs? Big weakness up here. Big weakness on it. Nothing. What happened to the higher highs? Higher high, right? What happened? Double top, weak higher high, lower high here, lower lows, right? Lower low. What do you think is going to happen next? On the lower high and lower low confirmation. What's going to happen? It's going to fucking spill, guys. Stop trading these 1 minute EMAs when it's consolidating. And then what happens? Oh, it's been consolidating, 1 minute EMA trend, right? I don't know. I want to lower that red number on the poll as much as I can, but like I said, all the credit is not given to me, right? Everything you guys learn, whatever you soak in, I hope you guys are taking notes, or I hope you learned something from any of this, from live sessions, not only from me, but from Max, and all of your time spent throughout trading, right? But the credit is not really given to anyone that's giving you information. The credit's, to you. I am very proud of a lot of traders that I have trained or taught with or traded with, right? But I cannot take credit. I would never say, hey, I'm the reason why Diesel made all that money. No, fuck no. Absolutely not. Okay? And I'm not going to sit here and say that that any of us would be the reason for your failure either. Right? At the end of the day, you guys are making either good or bad decisions. Right? What's the rules from the small count affirmations? I know the difference between good, very good, and excellent. We should also know the difference between bad, very bad, and horrid. Okay? Where do you lie on that scale? And ask yourself, what do you need to remove in order to move up to the next, level, right? Whether it be from bad to just good, or, from very bad to just bad. Like, yeah, I'm whatever. So, going through tomorrow, guys, it was very eventful today on the Qs. Lots of price action thrown in front of you, lots of trends. But, I mean, knowing when to walk away. I talked about that being an issue, and this kind of ties into, right, knowing when to, whether or not you want to stay at the desk or continue to trade, knowing when to let off the gas. Okay, knowing when to pull off of that momentum and, begin to gauge, hey, what's the high, what's the low of this possible range, right? I mean, and it gives it to you every single day. It gives it to you. Hey, look, we could range here just in case. I'm going to mark this high. I'm going to mark this pivot low. And I want to see if it breaks through. If this is just a pullback, right? Longs locking in profit. Oh, look, it broke through. All right, let's move to the next one. Okay, they push up. Now I have a pivot high. Remember, none of this is shown. There's the high. Oh, it pushes down here, right? This is the most recent pivot. Remember, that's the previous pivot. Now this is the most recent pivot, right? They give it, whoa. Okay, I don't know. They give it to you though, right? Can I extend this to the right? Yeah, there you go. Right? They give you your 2 points, the high and the low. What happens here now? I mean, you guys already know, but like, look, we didn't know that it was going to push up and respect that high unless you marked it. Oh, it respects the high. Now we're pushing back down. Oh, now we're testing the low. Now we're testing the high back. Can't hold above the high. This is a jab. This is a, consolidation. But a lot of you guys are too late to the consolidation party, just like you're too late to the trend. Okay? It's not about who's right or who's wrong at the end of the day. It's about who's faster. Who's faster at understanding and identifying and analyzing the current trend or the information being displayed to you from the market. Who's faster at breaking it down. Off the open, you guys are like, oh, Maple's in trade in 30 seconds. Okay. Am I making money on the trade, right? Why am I able to make money and you guys are all given the same data, but you're not jumping on it, right? I know that there's emotions, fear, anxiety, all that coming into account, but, I think it was Lurch earlier. He was saying on the open, he freezes up, right? You get analysis paralysis, something we've all talked about and have experienced at some point in our trading career, right? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be totally conviction, Kimbo. I mean, it just has to be me risking something, right? Like, if I went long here, I'm risking this low. But where's my target? The resistance that was hit twice now, right? It's all about weighing risk to reward. Off the open today on the Qs, why did why did we go long here? Oh, there's a support right here. Yeah, I'll bet $50 a contract. I'll bet $20 a contract to see if that, if this is gonna pay me. And it did. You guys made money with me this morning, right? We traded Tesla, QQQ, right? It was fun. But it wasn't, like, this is what's gonna happen. This is what will happen. I have so much conviction in the market. I am amazed. No. I'm gonna risk. Right, I'm gonna put my quarter in the machine, and I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. Right, Mark Douglas talking about, talking to the, one of those Mark Douglas sessions, the 4-part sessions. He's talking about asking this guy about the what is it? The slot machine. What do you expect when you put money in a slot machine? No, now if you've watched the video, don't answer this. Don't answer this. If you have not, okay, but what do you do when you put money in the slot machine? What do you expect? Chance to win, right? Bank, make money, jackpot, right? Win a prize, something, money. No, you just expect something to happen, right? That's what Mark says. You just expect something to happen. When I take a trade, I want to see something happen so that I can react based off of that. Right? It's either going to do two things. I've taught you guys from the very beginning. This is why I'm not afraid to take trades. And you guys at certain times can be afraid. I know the two outcomes. If I've already identified my stop loss, it's either going to one, actuate my stop loss, or two, I'm going to make money. Right? Look at, what about this guy? On the flip side, hey, I was going long here. What about this guy right here? Hey, we're going to short this. Right? What happens to him? You either are very smart and very fast and you're like, oh shit, that's not what I want to see. And you get out. Or it comes back down to bases and you get out and you see that you're not breaching lower and you get out. But if you're not, diligent and you're not quick on your feet, you're actually not respecting your plan or have any sense of discipline, right? They unloaded on you. They killed you. They didn't just rob you. They didn't just, stab you. No, they hung your ass out to dry, right? No hesitation. And then you stop out up here. And then they dump it, right? It's comical. At the end of the day, all you can do is laugh because you're like, holy shit, right? Why didn't I just stop out to begin with and then reassess my trade? And a lot of you guys do this too. A lot of you guys do this all the time. And it's this. It's exactly this. Okay, I'm not keeping up on chat, sorry. I want you guys, I can talk about setups, I can talk about what's going to make you money, all this other stuff all the time. I show you what makes money live every day, okay? But maybe you guys are not focusing on, the devil's advocate of this situation. Maybe you guys are not focusing hard enough on why you're failing or why you're doing things wrong, right? I see a lot of the mods, a lot of the skilled members, even a lot of the, longer time, just regular green names, right? Understanding and being so diligent, doing so well as a student, right? But when it comes to play, when it's time to play, why does all of that go out the window? Because we're not focusing, we're not hammering down on the logistics, the rules, right? Okay, and many of you don't have them. So I want you to ask yourself right now, hey, Maple's been rambling for an hour, probably getting on my nerves, whatever, right? What are your rules? If you don't have a question, or not, if you don't have an answer that just popped in your mind intrinsically, naturally, by instinct, then you do not have rules. What's my rule? Identify stop loss, manage tight risk, ride trends when I can. Okay, the list goes on and I can go on. Okay, but if you don't have that, then you need to write it down and you need to read them every single day. I try to give you guys a basis of the rules by reading the small account affirmations, right? That's a pretty good list, but you guys should really have your own rules because everyone, as we know, we all go through different things, experience different circumstances in regards to the market and our own life, and react to that. That is all displaced on the chart. Remember, I said those timid traders, anxious traders, right? They hesitate a lot. Those angry traders, those traders that, are assholes or have, impatience problems or anger problems, right? They overtrade. They FOMO buy. They're breakout traders, right? They don't really have a grip on their emotions, and in regards to that, they also have lack of accountability. And you may be sitting there like, damn, he's calling me out. No, I'm calling myself out. I've been through that. Trading has changed my mental, kind of state of mind. I myself, before trading, I would say, mature, but, comparing myself to before trading and to where I am now on this journey, it's two totally different people, right? Two totally different people. And I feel like you guys feel the same way as well. So, guys, just gonna go over a quick few cardinal sins. If it sounds like you go through this, then this is one of your problems, right? But using all of your buying power, or these are the trading cardinal sins. I'm gonna build upon this list, but using all of your buying power in less than 1 hour. that dictates that you have lack of discipline. FOMO entries without proper thesis. It means that, you're dictated by greed. You're ruled by greed. You're valuing making profits over your process. Right? Okay. Next one. Overtrading and boredom. You rely on that pack mentality. Okay. You rely seeing other people confirm what you may already think is going on. All right, a lot of you guys, hey Maple, how does this look? Don't ask me. Take the trade and find out. Learn, I can tell you one way or the other, but are you going to learn that way, or are you just going to base off what I'm saying, right? Of course, I'm going to be there and answer the question anyway, but, I really want you guys to, go out and seek those, unique experiences in the market. Every little part and interaction in the market is a lesson. If you don't feel that way, if you feel like you're not learning from every trade, every pivot, every moment that you're sitting there staring at these candles, then you're not learning. As simple as that. If you don't treat all of these like they're lessons, then you're just sitting there, observing at that point. Also, right, let's see, breakout buying without a stop loss plan. Right, that ties into, the eagerness for profits, right? The inability to identify proper risk, right? You can only buy when it's going up. That pack mentality I talk about is detrimental to your trading. It will kill your account, right? Because it's a dog-eat-dog world. What does Max or Carlos say all the time, right? You buy there, or you buy up here, I'm taking your money. And in a literal sense, he is, right? Hey, I buy up here, I buy down here. I'm selling up here. When I sell something, someone else has to buy it, right? Someone else has to buy it. And who's buying it? That trader who has lack of accountability, lack of responsibility, no true understanding of their emotions. Okay? And regret. You guys are dealing with a lot of regret. I should have held this to this point. I could have had X amount of dollars. I've played that game, guys. I've had, this would have been a $50,000 Nvidia trade, or this would have been a $10,000 QQQ. We've all fucking been there, right? But if it truly was going to be a $50,000 QQQ trade, or if it truly was going to be a $10,000 whatever trade, we would have planned for that. We would have planned to ride it out. We would have planned for these zones to be interacted with, taken over, identifying, what was going to go on through that. Now, I'm not saying exactly that amount of money, but, there's no way that, the anomaly of, hey, I could have had a $50,000 trade is any sense, or is in any sense of your, arsenal of consistent setups. Otherwise, you would be making or have those trades. This could have been a $10,000 trade every single day, or that opportunity maybe every few days. So stop the regret. When I take a trade, I've done it multiple times, right? What day? Oh, this day. Yeah. Let me go to the 5 actually. Right? We killed the longs, and I think I got all out like around this area here. I think I got all out this day on this area, and then it continued up for, actually no, I traded this RCB, I think maybe that was that, yeah. But anyway, the original entries, oh man, that could have been double, triple my gains had I not sold anything. That's all futile. That's all noise. You will ruin your state of mind in that way, because what you think is that you're now discounting this trade from the demand that you took up to here. Who was to say that it was going to rip the rest of the day? No one was. You don't know that, but you took this trade and now you're discounting it. You're being ungrateful and looking at this trade like it was worthless. So then you don't recreate this trade. This is now not something that you are looking to make consistently into your trading style or your trading strategy. Now what you're going to do, you're going to shift over and think you can make 50 racks on every trade. 5,000 or 5 racks on every trade, 10,000 on every trade. You think you can do that, but you're never going to get to that point until you appreciate these trades, or even little pieces like that, or a little piece like that. You're never going to get to that point. Okay, yeah, I'll take a nice question and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, you linked it? Oh. Okay, and they says, hey Maple, I had a question. So how do you get confirmation in Confluence for supply and demand zones like this, for example? Do you buy puts on the close of the first 5-minute candle, but it's above the EMAs and still holding? Or do you wait for the confirmation of sellers, but on the 5-minute candle, it's now too far extended from the EMAs? Do you wait for confirmation and take the worst risk reward and wait for earlier plays, less probability? Okay, so we'll just go through and I will look at this. And hey, I can already tell you, bro. I can already tell you. Can someone in chat tell me what I'm looking for out of a zone? Can someone tell me what am I looking for out of a zone? No, for a rejection or a bounce out of a demand. Okay, nope, haven't seen it. Okay, if I'm looking for an entry out of supply zone, what am I looking for? Lower high, Q, bam, right? Lower high. I'm looking for the lower high confirmation. On the flip side, it's what? The higher low confirmation, right? So like, this demand here today, what happens here? You get a demand, respect, pops up, higher low confirmation in demand. It pops up, right? So right here, you may not get the best. Now, Ane, also, I have the same area that you're looking at on the chart. We'll pull up your chart though, just in case, just for the examples, right? So you said, right, entry, I think, are you talking about, well, this is after the fact, so maybe you're talking about like the after hour high supply that was drawn from Friday, right? But if you're talking about this, maybe you're talking about this. Yeah, so here, this is actually what you're talking about. You're not talking about this cluster. You're talking about this. Okay, so right there. So now what you can do, this pushes up. Now, not a lot of traders got in on this. Not a lot of traders got in on this topping tail. Is that what you're referring to, Ane? No, bro, Q said pivots to maintain. We're talking about rejection. We want the pivots to break. Okay, yeah, so look, you're saying, how could you have entered there? Not a lot of traders entered there. Most likely you saw the tweezer or something like that, but I always keep up the 1 minute. You guys know that, right? 1 second. Let me get the arrow. You can look at this, right? And either mark the most recent support, right? And mark that flush, the break of it, okay? Or you're waiting for it to cross below one of these EMAs and base upon it. So you may not get the best entry up here. This was very fast. This did not maintain at all, right? Sellers were waiting. They let those retail, they let retail come in. They let whoever come in, right, and push up to their supply where they already had orders set. Just, the trap was set, and they're just waiting for it to remove down, right? Now you're also talking about, 1 second. Let me pull it back up. Okay, you're talking about this, right? Do I wait for the 5-minute close? Now it's extended, okay, from the supply. So a lot of times now, I am not a huge advocate for just taking trades just in the supply or the demand, but I do it often. Okay, so technically this was a demand zone right here, right? We drew that out from the morning live. So technically that was a demand, but as long as you have a level to base risk off of. So already right here, you can see I have the after hour high, or here, hold on. 1 second. Okay, we see we have this level here, right? This is the most, this is the highest point. Maybe you mark this level here, either one. Look at those two levels here. Now on the 1 minute, Okay? If you are aggressively getting into the trade, that means you are weighing in all the variables very quickly, right? You're understanding that, hey, if it breaks this level in the area above, I will, cover, or I will stop out of my put, right? Now, a lot of times we are waiting. Remember, always gauge the difference between patience and hesitation. You may be patient here for your EMA pullback or EMAs to cross or a lower high confirmation, but you may never get it. We never got a lower high come on. We never got a lower high confirmation out of supply. We never got that. So you can't sit there also and think that every trade that you can tackle very well. This, I don't know, unless you already had that supply zone planned out like we did this morning. If you were, aiming to take the supply rejection very quickly, that's something that you definitely can do, just basing the level off the risk. But, if we're talking about this area right here, you can slowly scale in, understanding that you would stop out above the supply, right? Just weighing risk or looking for that lower high confirmation, right? Come on, you get a high, lower low, first lower high here, and then short, of course, right? But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Good session tonight. I hope that these sessions are not turning into I hope you guys aren't feeling like I'm scolding you, right? I really just want the best for all of you. I see a lot of you guys struggling unnecessarily, I will say. And you guys know right from wrong. I tell you every day right from wrong, right? And that's solely due to the fact that you are lacking in discipline. You are lacking in self responsibility and accountability. I mean, I've been there, right? For those of you who have spouses, right? You're never right, right? Your spouse, and it took a long time to accept that, right? I mean, can anyone agree with that, right? I don't win arguments anymore. You know what I mean? Why would I? Okay? So, just stop fighting. Just stop fighting with what you know is right from wrong, and understanding that, it does take a lot to, a lot of courage to admit that you're wrong, right? When you're sitting there and, what a spouse argument, whatever, even an argument with your mom or dad, or you're just wrong, you're just dead wrong, you're sitting there ashamed and, not having the responsibility to say, I was wrong. I am sorry, right? It's hard. It's definitely hard to do that. Same thing with your trading. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I won't do it next time, right? That's not enough, right? The apology was not strong enough, my friend. Okay, so um tomorrow, guys, it's the same thing. I've marked out, I mean, my chart is all messy now, but we've marked out the zones. I want you guys yourself to go through and look at the most recent levels before the close here. Go look at the 10-minute chart. It'll show you a bit more clear, maybe the 15 even. Look at the levels most recently prior to close. Mark your previous day. I have a ton. This has to be cleaned up, but don't look at this and thinking, what is he talking about, right? But go through, prepare yourself a little bit. At least give yourself some situational awareness of what may be interacted with, right? So I'm going to post this. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for giving me your time tonight. I hope that this session helps you guys. I know that, there was some rambling and stuff like that, but I want you guys to improve, right? The market's picking up. I know it's crazy right now. I know it's tough price action. You will be absolute monsters, okay, when we get back to, picking a direction. Would you not say it? This is mad. This is crazy. This is crazy. Look at this. You guys, I wish I was trading this. But look at what the fuck we're trading. Right? You're going to kill it. You will be absolute monsters trading this. Right? Look at this. Even this, not bad. Little consolidation range, right? Not bad here. So please, don't, decide that, hey, I'm an awful trader, market's too tough, I suck, all because you've been trading this the last 3-4 months, right? Is that really an indicator of how good you are at trading? Or are you trading with, or with the difficulty on 10, right? So tomorrow morning we'll start the stream up 8:30 in the morning, right? We'll go through, we'll have a great day. I have no doubt about our ability to gauge price action, but I do have doubts on your ability on gauging your emotions. So please get them in check. Write out your rules if you have not already. Update them as time goes on. Keep up with a notebook. I just started a new notebook today. I'm very excited. Nice and fresh and crisp. So I will catch you guys all tomorrow morning. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening and have a good night.